What's going on, everybody? Very unintentional. I think I'm wearing the same shirt from yesterday's video. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is kind of a shirt I just like to throw on, and we're here. But anyways, what's up, everybody? I don't know if you can see. I'm in a park. Just kind of chilling. I got a matcha strawberry drink from this cafe called Press, which is kind of fire. And yeah, I was in the area, and I was like, why not just stop at a park and make a video, which is the second video in this mini series within Vita. And today's video is about decluttering. Okay, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about, Juice? Like, yesterday detox and now decluttering. What are you going on? Are you trying to be Maria Kondo? Which I think is the organization lady, if I'm not mistaken. I don't watch her content, but I feel like I know that name. But anyways, and if I'm completely wrong, please let me know in the comments. But can I move my seat back even more? There we go, a little bit more. So one thing I want to talk about, sorry if the AC is a little too hot here, one thing I want to talk about is that the reason why I want to talk about decluttering, right? Yesterday I talked about detox. I feel like the detox video was a good thing, that like for you to find something that might be, you know, getting in the way of your pursuits in life, and also just like a way to test, to like maybe see if you took out that thing that you believe is negative in your life and maybe fill it with something positive, or just something that can be more beneficial to you in the future, it could definitely change your life. Even if you just do it for a week, like I said, you know, if you didn't watch that video yesterday, go watch it. But today, decluttering, I think, is something a lot of people need to do in their life, okay? Unless you're already a minimalist, then I think everybody can benefit from decluttering. And the reason why I say this is because I think we, as just like humans, especially if you're around my age or younger, a lot of your stuff is probably material, right? A lot of the shit you own is probably like, this is all I can afford right now, and I have to take care of it at all costs. Like, you know, you're probably really good with your phone, your laptop. Dude, my laptop looks so good. I literally went to Apple recently, and they were like, we consider it's so old too. They're like, we consider your laptop vintage, but it's like really well good. They would have gave me like $200 for it. And I'm like, bro, okay, I'm keeping it. You know what I mean? But anyways, it was in good condition, they said, though. But anyways, like, you know, I think we take care of a lot of our stuff, but I also think we hold on to too much stuff. And that's why I think it is very important that we declutter a lot in our lives. And because I know everybody owns stuff they don't need anymore, or they think they're going to need it, but they're like, oh, I got to hold on to it because, you know, maybe this and that, or blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, like a lot of people, I was part of this as well. And I actually still have some pieces from this. You have stuff that you had from past relationships that you're like, I don't know if I want to throw that away. I don't think that's worth throwing away. I have slowly started getting away from that stuff. Not because like I fear like, oh, the next relationship I get in, I don't want to have to be like, oh yeah, I got that from an ex-girlfriend. Like, dude, I think if you're dating somebody that gets upset that you got something from an ex-girlfriend, that's a little weird. Depends on like what it is and like why you have the sentimental value for it. I think just some of the stuff I got was legit, and I'm just like, why would I throw that away? But for the most part, I have been getting rid of just a lot of stuff. And I think another reason why it's important to declutter is I'm talking about your wardrobe. I'm talking about your books. I'm talking about maybe your games, like whatever you feel like you're never going to use again. Somebody else can use it. Obviously, that's a good reason to get rid of it. But I also think that the less mess and the less distractions you have in life, they allow you to actually work towards what you want in life as well. That's one of the reasons why I started decluttering stuff. For the last few months, maybe even the last year, to be honest, I've been selling a lot of crap. So I don't even know if I was doing YouTube yet. I might have not been even doing YouTube yet, but I used to have a massive like Dallas Cowboy collection of like, you know, the sports team. I know some of you guys are Cowboys haters and all that jazz. That's totally fine. I have my days too, but yo, I'm a loyal bitch. It's what happens. Okay. That's my team. But I used to have a lot of collectibles. And what I ended up doing was I ended up boxing them up a long time ago and putting them in storage, and they've sat in that storage forever. We eventually got rid of the storage, I don't know, like 2-3 years ago. And then they've also just been sitting in like my house, just in a corner, and I've done nothing with them for years. And I was like, you know what? It's time to get rid of these. I was like, I'm not going to hold on to these collectibles. I was like, I'm not going to put them anywhere, because I've also like, that's before I got really into, you know, being a super nerd and like loving the comics and really finding the space. Still love the sports team, still watch it every Sunday. But I'm just like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to have like the man cave with all the cowboy stuff and all that jazz. I gave some stuff to my dad if he wants it, because he has a lot of cowboy stuff. But for the most part, the collectibles, I was like, I could sell these things. I was like, I could actually make money and use this money towards something else. So that's what I've been doing. And I've slowly been making money. It helped me get out of debt a little bit. It helped me like buy some stuff I needed. And it was just like really, really good to declutter. And also I have more space now because I did that. And I think that's one of the biggest things as well, is once you start realizing that you're getting rid of stuff you don't need or you don't want anymore, like it opens up. It's kind of like when you declutter stuff, it not only gives you free space in your like house, it also gives you free space in your mind, because you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Like even if you are somebody that's like out of sight, out of mind, that thing is still there. It's like something like deep in your subconscious. You know you own it, you know it's still there. And until you get rid of it, it's always going to be secretly in the back of your mind. And I feel like that's why it's very important to get rid of stuff. And now granted, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just saying, like, I think if you are somebody that is, because I used to be very not scatterbrained, but I could be easily distracted by stuff. Because if I opened a drawer and I found something, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about this, like an old project or something like that. I'm like, I should really do something with this. It gets in the way of whatever the hell else you're trying to do. And decluttering doesn't even need to necessarily mean getting rid of stuff either, right? You can declutter the projects you're working on. Again, I've said this will probably be a little bit more in tomorrow's video, which is more about, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a good reason to really focus your attention on one or two things. I think it's very important. I'll go into more detail tomorrow about that, because I have like the last thing I want to talk about that I think will really be beneficial to a lot of people. But I think this is something a lot of people need to do, is decluttering the things you don't need. Like if you haven't noticed, I'm always wearing a black shirt. 99% of the time I'm wearing a black shirt. That's because I got rid of a lot of my other clothes that I wasn't using anymore. I don't like this. Like sometimes it was hard to pair a red shirt with stuff. It was hard to pair like some of the graphic tees I had. Dude, got rid of all of them. Also, I will say I recently had a garage sale at my brother's, and dude, have a garage sale to sell stuff. I know a lot of people, you can go just dump it at Goodwill, but you want to get some cash, dude, make all your shirts and stuff like $1. Like that, literally. Like just go and be like, oh yeah, $1, all your clothes, $1. Like, dude, just make it super cheap and people will go buy it, like for real. Could even be cheaper than that if you want to. And then if nothing sells at the end of the day, then go donate it. You know what I mean? Get yourself a little bit of pocket change. You know what I mean? Because that's what I did recently. I'm like, dude, I was like, people actually just come and buy stuff because, you know, a lot of people don't want to go to H&M or Zara or whatever and buy shirts that are like 20, 30 bucks. Granted, I think H&M has some pretty cheap shirts, but still, like, you can go find some really good stuff if you just put in the effort to go do it, right? But, you know, and I think again, I think it's really important to declutter your mind. I feel like that's what these Vita vlogs are kind of doing. If I'm not lying to you, a lot of people might be like, Juice, you ramble a lot. Yeah, I know. Trust me. If you're like one of my close friends, you know to the max that I'm a rambler. But for the most part, I think Vita is also helping me just express a lot of things I've wanted to talk about, a lot of things I've wanted to mention to people, and a lot of things that maybe I've been worrying about. And those will be later vlogs because I've written them down and I want to talk about them. But yeah, for the most part, this is the second thing in this thing. Declutter your physical space and declutter your mental space. If you got stuff you're worrying about, dude, talk to somebody about it. Write it down, dude. Writing stuff down is for the mental aspect. Writing stuff down and like talking about why you're worried about it. Oh, somebody's parking next to me. Might be a good way to like declutter stuff. I would write stuff down and then I would just I'm like, all right, why am I worrying about this? That's a good technique to have. Is I had this space where I was I used to do this thing. I haven't done it anymore. My therapist told me to stop doing it, or like do it less. And at 4 o'clock every day, when I was like really stressing about life, I wrote down, like at 4 o'clock every day, I put like, what am I worrying about? I wrote down what I was worrying about, and I asked the question, can I control it? And I wasn't, if I could, I wrote down, all right, how do I do it? Like, if I want to make more money, get a part-time job, sell stuff, do whatever. And then on top of that, if I couldn't control it, I'd put like, why can I control it? Like, can I control death? No, can't control death. It's inevitable. It happens to everybody. You can enjoy life now. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I was doing. So I think that is a really good thing to do. I highly suggest you do it. Give it a practice. If you do feel like your life is really hectic, write down all the things that you think is, that are like making your life worse, or, hectic or bad, or, whatever making you miserable, whatever you think it is. Write all that shit down. Ask what you can control, what you can't control, and start scratching those bitches off. Declutter your mind. And if it's physical stuff you need to take care of, if it's a to-do list because somebody's getting on your ass and you haven't done it, then write that shit down, do that stuff, and get it out of your mind. Get it out of your mind, clean up your physical space, declutter that shit. All right, that's it. I'm done. All right, I'm going to go now. Darkness and redness and whiteness. Okay, I'm stealing that from him, okay? He's not using it anymore. All right, peace.